How I approach every single trade in the stock market, momentum day trading with weekly options. Simplified overview. Tony Robbins once said, clarity is power, and it's so true for day trading. It's a wild jungle out there, and you will be grilled alive sooner or later if you don't have a crystal clear plan what you do in certain situations. If you're sitting in the trade with uncertainty and fear run by emotions, you start making the wrong decisions. You start losing all your money, blowing up your account, and you give up day trading like so many, and start the blame game. You say it just didn't work, but not knowing why. But yeah, it's most likely it is because you don't have a crystal clear daily routine that you follow at all costs, which is just required in the long run to be consistently profitable. So I wrote down these 5 points here. Let's go through them quick. I try to keep it as simple as possible. The first one is high probability trade idea. I wake up every morning 4 a.m. in Los Angeles scanning the pre-market for stocks to give up on good news. I like to trade stocks that I made money on in the past, so I want to increase the probability by using a strategy that I tested and worked for me in the past. And so it's gap up on good news, it's the second thing. And the third is I use usually stocks that I made money on in the past, like Boeing. I made money on a big trade last year actually. When you scroll down on my Instagram, I posted it. And Bumble was a stock that gapped up on my favorite catalyst, earnings winner, which I liked the most. But Boeing reported also good news, good sales. And the fourth thing is, then additionally, I wanted to break a big level. Maybe sometimes with the gap up, sometimes the break of the level just happens during the open market. And just that maybe signals for me like a trend reversal or something. But a break of a big resistance level is usually also a good way to increase the probability of success. So these are 4 very important things that I combine just to choose my pre-market alerts already. And I'm drawing this support resistance line that you see always pre-market. And then at the market open, I wait, for the final confirmations in the best case scenario, and to have a good entry, which we come later on to also. So the second thing is position size. It's very important, especially with weekly options, and most people underestimate it, but it's much better just to trade very small. You need to find out your position size. For me, I trade mostly with $1,000 to $2,000 positions. That's my main position size, even after years of trading, because with weekly options, I don't need more. I just found I made the most money with actually small positions. And with big money, big positions, mostly it's too stressful, and too much stress causes too many emotions, and too many emotions causing too many losses in the long run. So keeping the same position size at all costs, you need to find out what is your position size. At some point, I started trading only with one contract. Sometimes it was a $200 position size or $300, and the goal was just to make $100, $50. And I stopped out when the trade didn't work. Then we come to the next point: how important is stop losses? The max stop loss for me right now, I set it to 30%, and that's like the max and that I want to tolerate in any trade, because at some point you gotta stop out. If a 30% loss didn't work, the trade idea, you can't wait for 50 or 100% loss. That it turns around. At some point, 30% is the max loss for me. Then I just got to stop out at all costs, and next time I just need a better entry. So I was very close to stop out last Thursday on Bumble. As you maybe saw, I texted my alert, and I had a bad entry actually, and I nearly got stopped out. I was 29% down or something when it made another pullback. And I calculated the support level not correctly. You see, one little thing not perfect can maybe stop you out or can cause a bigger loss later on. So but it was 29% down, so that's why I stayed in the trade Bumble. And but again, because I calculated many other things correctly, that's why the trade still works. Sometimes one thing can be not 100% correct, and you still make money later on. It can still work. So you have to, on a daily basis, make as many of these things correctly in the long run. And so Bumble still worked because it was a trade idea that I know worked for me in the past many times. And I also had the correct position size for me. So it was only a $1,000 position size. So it's not causing too much stress for me. And with weekly options, I can make 100%. So I made 100% profit on the second target, which is also reached later on in the day, which was 100%. And that's why weekly options are amazing. You can make 100, 200. Some people I saw that texted me, they made 500% on Boeing. It's amazing. And you just have to reduce the greed. And with small positions, you can give it more time, you can relax more. And when you can relax more, you can also trade better. And yeah, we come to the fourth point here, optimal entry. Yeah, I can also name the latest one on Bumble last Thursday, which my entry wasn't perfect, and I nearly got stopped out. So if you have a bad entries, you can never jump in like on the top somewhere where and chase the stock and FOMO in. Then it's with weekly options very dangerous. One pullback, you can be 50% down instantly if it's on the same day expiration. So you just gotta wait then and be more patient. And if you find yourself having too many bad entries, then write down, after your weekly review that you hopefully do of your trading, then you write down, hey, every day I have the bad entry. Then for next week you write down, I must be more patient. I write this also down for myself. I want to be more patient also at the open. Didn't have the best entries the last weeks, even though good trade ideas and many times a big green, but I could have reduced my own stress much more if I would have just been more patient. So just, I use myself as example, learn from my own mistakes that I see in myself, getting a better entry, but just being more patient, no rush. If I miss the trade, there's going to be a better opportunity coming for sure. That's for sure. And yeah, then the fifth point is the profit target. You need to know, of course, when you sell. And if you don't know when to sell, then we just sell and just stay green. The main goal every day is basic goal is just to stay green. That's the main goal. If you find yourself being not every day green or not too much green, then any profit is appreciated. Just stay green, because staying green makes you feel good. You build confidence in your trading skills, and when you feel good and confident in your trading, then later on, you're gonna get better. But if you always be green and then turn this into a loss, then of course that makes you feel very bad, and then you become sometimes in a downward cycle, and you become even more greedy next time because you missed profits yesterday. You're holding longer today to get also the profits that you should have gotten yesterday. So yeah, it can be a crazy cycle of a chain reaction that you go down if you make any of these things wrong. So calculating then, for example, resistance levels in the pre-market already. So on Bumble, for example, I did this perfectly. I named already two targets in the pre-market. I said 73 and 75 as targets in the pre-market without knowing the price action at the market open. And both targets hit, and I sold 2 times. I sold half at the first target, and I was quite confident that it will reach also the second target later today. So that's why I've been holding with a second position to the second target also, which was $75. And yeah, but you see how important it is to take profits, and sometimes also just sell half or sell anything, and yeah, just to stay green. And because in the long run, when I remember, staying just green worked the best for me, because the profits with weekly options, they come fast. Like, there's not really needed to wait really any longer for more profit sometimes, because 1 or 2 candles can be 50-100% profit. So you can just sell and move on with the day. And the danger is the greed with weekly options, and to calm down, slow down, because they're so powerful. You know the quote from Spider-Man: with great power comes great responsibility. And yeah, that's why it's so important to trade small, stop out at some point. You got to stop out to have a small loss. I mean, it's amazing. You can wake up in the morning and you say, what is the maximum loss that doesn't ruin my day? That's how I approach it. When I lost all my money a few years ago, but I never stopped trading. I just want to figure this out and say, wait a minute, why do I have big losses? I can just say I don't want a big loss. I can just say my max loss today is $50 with one contract. My max loss today is $100. And when I set this max loss in the morning, I know I'm not going to have my day ruined. I can still move on. I can still recover from this. So, and then I started feeling better. Oh, day trading doesn't ruin me anymore at this time. It's not so dangerous, actually, when I just control my loss. And then you can just... how I stop out is also another thing. I use a mental stop loss. So 30% is my mental stop loss. And so some people have problems for that, of course. And it would just work the best for me. You can also set in the market, in the order book, when you place the order, you can set a stop price of that option. You can calculate if the price is $1 of that option, then 30% of that, then maybe 0.70 cent is your stop loss or something, maybe, if you want to set it like this. But yeah, you gotta just stop out, and you gotta make sure that day trading is not ruining your life and your day, and you're in control. You see how powerful day trading is. It can give you infinite money if you play by specific rules, and you control this power, and you say what loss can you tolerate. And if you stop out, you stay in the game. You make sure you stay in the game, and you can leverage on coming opportunities still, because you still have money. You didn't lose all your money, and maybe there's a great trade coming next week, but you blew up your account this week, and you can't take advantage of the coming opportunities because you didn't know how to stop out. So you see how important it is to manage all these things together, and it's not easy, but it's possible to learn it. Again, the discipline muscle can be trained every single day, like the normal muscle in your body, and you just have to practice the feeling of feeling uncomfortable. You got to write this down. I got to put it more into my pre-market alerts. It's really got to be hammered into your brain on a daily basis. Repetition is the mother of skill. So at some point your brain just got to accept these rules. And but of course you must be really willing, of course, to put time in it, and to really be determined to stick to these rules on a daily basis. As soon as you throw it out of the window and you think you made it, then one of these things going to catch you up sooner or later, and you're going to lose probably your money again. For position sizing, additionally, I could say a small account. For me, I have a small account on eTree. For me, I know most traders, their goal is to grow their account. But for me, I use weekly options, day trading only for consistent income, basically, and profits. So I don't need more than a few $1,000s on my eTrade account, and it's just not more required for me. And because I know from the past, the more money I had on eTrade, it was too dangerous for me. At some point, I just got to use it, become too greedy when I have a bad moment, when I feel bad waking up. At some point, it's hard to stick always to our rules, and I just want to avoid, that at some point I'm going to wake up bad, I'm going to be too greedy, and then using more money than I should, and then it causes a bad loss. And so you see, I'm implementing certain things also in terms of position sizing, to keep the overall risk as low as possible. Because when you have only one shot or two shots a day, if you have less ammo to shoot, then you're going to be more patient and you choose more quality trades. If you have a big account and you can day trade all day, for me it just didn't work. When I saw that I could day trade just all day, then with that money that I have, then I just used it. And with the small account size, you make sure that you use the money that you have available more wisely. That's why I'm keeping the account size small. And that was just a quick video here to give you guys an idea. Maybe it helps you or somebody. So this Saturday. All right. See you guys. Message me for any questions, and have a great weekend.